This is a guide for the DSC Solr GitHub repository for installing Solr on really any type of server in just about a minute and a half. So the first thing I did is I remoted into this brand new Windows Server 2016 box. There's nothing on here. It was literally just provisioned. The first thing I need to do is from the repository, I just need to copy down the files that we need. So I'm going to create an install directory. Paste those guys here. I'm gonna add PowerShell to my quick access. I'm gonna run PowerShell as an admin from this directory. All right, we're gonna install Solr. It's gonna ask me my version. We'll start with 663. This is my SSL password. You would need to take care normally. 8983 from my port. DNS, and I just want to point out at any point you can type exclamation point, question mark, enter, and it'll tell you like, so here it's expecting the fully qualified domain name for Solr. So in my case, I'm going to just steal it from here. Yes, I'd like to use an SSL. The perform schema updates is kind of a little nice to have thing that I like to do. It helps you separate. It basically with Sitecore index, Solr indexes, you can have a single managed schema for all of your indexes, or a cluster of them, or they can all have their own one. I like to set it up where the Sitecore indexes have their own managed schema, and then the XDB indexes have their own managed schema, because those that's kind of how the indexes are grouped in Sitecore. But anyways, so the first thing that the script is doing, it's getting the Java SDK. It did that relatively quickly, and now it's installing the Java SDK. The blog post that accompanies this video goes into a little bit of detail. Every once in a while, I'd say every other month, Oracle changes the method for downloading the SDK, or they make the current version just not accessible anymore. And so sometimes I've in the past I've had to modify the download script. All right, so Java is installed. So the next thing we're going to do is pull down the Solr zip, which it's done. And now where we're at right now is it's expanding that zip. So just setting the stage for our full Solr install at this point. And while this is running, just to illustrate, I have this site primed and ready to go. It doesn't work right now, but this is the fully qualified domain name, and I chose 8983 during the install. So after this is done, and it's SSL HTTPS, we'll check that when it's done. Oh, and it's done. So now I can just reload this page. It's using a self-signed cert, so we get the error. But the cert is exported. It's all in the, really nothing's hidden. You can look at the DSC. You can see what it's doing. All right, so now we have 663. So at this point, we're done. And let's see, the install took 101 seconds. I've seen it do it in as little as 90 seconds, but there's little dependencies on how fast it downloads Java, how fast it downloads Solr, how fast it unzips everything. That's pretty good. So now what I'd like to do is you could run this on a local dev machine. I'm fairly confident in it. So let's say you wanted to have a side-by-side install with like 7.2.1 if you're working on 9.1. So what we'll do, we'll rerun it. 7.2.1. Same password, but now we have to use a different port. 8984 we'll use for this one. Same DNS. I'll make sure I still have it here. Yes. No. Now, because the first step already downloaded and installed the Java SDK, it actually skipped everything. You can see that here. It's going really fast, but like skip set, skip set, it didn't bother with that. So that's really the only benefit for rerunning this. Everything else is new because it's a new Solr version. It's a new Solr service. Everything else is new. So, but you get You get about 20 seconds back. And it should be done pretty quick here. All right, so it allowed Solr through the Windows firewall. So we did 8984 on this one. So same path, same domain. And there's our 7.2.1. And then just for backwards compatibility, actually here. So if you're on a really old version, let's do 5.1.0. If you're on like 8.2 here, let's go, oops, 5.1.0. So you have to enter the password even though we won't use it this time. 8985. Make sure I get my domain name properly. We will not use SSL. We will not update the schema. Now, I have tested this on 5.0.0 and up, all of the, at least the supported versions listed in the compatibility chart. For whatever reason, these older versions of Solr take much longer to unzip. There just must be considerably more files. So I'm going to pause the video while this process goes. I'm back on the video, just about done with the unzipping. All right, still took only 111 seconds. All right, so we did 8985, but we did not use a certificate. So this was the 5.1 version, and there we go. So we have 5.1, 7.2.1, 6.6.3, and honestly anything in between. We're talking about anything on the chart right here should be good to go with this process.